Emotional manipulation is rarely obvious. Most people imagine manipulation as something dramatic, someone yelling, threatening, controlling another person. But real manipulation is much more quieter than that. In fact, many people only realize it when their confidence is already damaged, after they start questioning themselves and they start wondering, maybe I'm overreacting, maybe I'm the problem, maybe I'm too sensitive. And that is exactly how manipulation works. It slowly changes how you see yourself. Let me introduce myself. My name is Natyash, and in this channel, we'll be talking about mental health and disaster relationships. So keep watching. Today, we're talking about 5 subtle signs that someone may be manipulating you. Signs that many people miss until they're deeply involved. So, like we said, emotional manipulation is not always shouting, control, or aggression. Most of the time, it's control of emotional dynamics. A manipulative person learns how to influence how you feel, how you react, how you see situations, and sometimes how you see yourself. The goal is not always obvious power. Sometimes it's attention, sometimes it's insecurity, sometimes it's a simply learned behavior, but the result is the same. You slowly start adapting your emotions and your behaviors around them. And often you don't realize it's happening because the signs are subtle. Let's look at the first one. Sign number 1, hot and cold behavior. This is one of the most common manipulative patterns. One day the person is incredibly affectionate, they give attention, they show interest, they make you feel special, but then suddenly they become distant, cold, unavailable. You start wondering what changed, and you start trying harder, trying to get back the version of them that felt loving. And this emotional roller coaster keeps you psychologically hooked because unpredictable rewards are extremely powerful. Our brain becomes obsessed with restoring the connection. This is the same psychological principle behind the gambling addiction. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose, and that uncertainty keeps you engaged. Sign number 2, making you feel too sensitive. You express something that hurt you. Maybe they said something dismissive. Maybe they ignored you. Maybe they crossed a boundary. And instead of acknowledging it, they respond with something like, you're overreacting. You're too sensitive. You're making a big deal out of nothing. Over time, this creates self-doubt, and you begin questioning your own emotional reactions. You start censoring yourself, and slowly, the emotional balance of the relationship shifts. Because if your feelings are always framed as the problem, then the other person never has to take responsibility. Sign number 3, turning the conversation against you. Another powerful manipulation tactic is redirecting the conversations so you become the problem. You bring up something that hurt you, but instead of addressing it, the conversation suddenly becomes about something you did wrong. For example, you say, I feel hurt when you ignore my message. And suddenly the response becomes, well, you ignored me last week. Or, you always complain. Or, you're impossible to satisfy. Now the original issue disappears, and you find yourself defending your character instead of discussing the actual problem. This tactic creates confusion, and confusion makes it very difficult to make somebody accountable. Sign number 4, withholding affection. Withholding affection is a form of control. When everything is going well, the person may be warm and loving, but when you disagree, when you challenge something, or when you set a boundary, suddenly they withdraw emotionally. They become distant, cold, unpredictable, unresponsive, and this creates emotional punishment. And your brain quickly learns the pattern. If I speak up, connection disappears. So eventually you stop bringing things up, not because the issues disappeared, but because your nervous system is trying to avoid emotional rejection. Sign number 5, creating insecurity. The final subtle sign is creating insecurity to maintain power. Manipulative people sometimes keeps the emotional balance unstable. They may compare you to others, make comments that reduce your confidence, or keep your relationship feeling uncertain, because insecurity makes people easier to control. If someone feels secure, they set boundaries. If someone feels valued, they expect respect. But if someone feels constantly unsure, they start working harder to prove their worth, and that shifts the emotional power in the relationship. Healthy relationships don't make you constantly question your emotional reality. They don't make you feel confused whether your feelings are valid. They don't make you feel like you have to earn basic respect. In healthy relationships, communication brings clarity, not confusion. And clarity is one of the strongest signs of emotional safety, because love should feel emotional secure, not emotional manipulative. I hope you enjoyed this video. This is Natyash here. Give it a thumbs up, share it, and subscribe if you want to keep watching our videos. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.